Well, welcome everybody to our Getting to Know BMO feature. And as usual, we have with us our mortgage specialist from the Bank of Montreal, Assad Naeem. Hi, Assad. Good to see you again.
Likewise, Stu. How you doing?
I'm good, actually. Yeah. So I'm Stuart J. Lowe, preferred realtor with BMO. And as I say, Assad is your mortgage specialist. And we've got quite a few videos now that we've done to help home buyers, especially, get the programs that BMO have to offer. And these programs, as well as Sad, are just specific for BMO, aren't they? They can't, normal mortgage brokers can't actually use the same programs, as I understand it.
Yeah, there are a bunch which are specific for BMO and mortgage brokers. We don't work with mortgage brokers, so they can't touch anything that we have.
Okay, so that's good. So we're unique. Okay, so today the subject, we're going to talk about moving to Calgary. But this could be kind of anywhere in Alberta. It's just that we're in Calgary, so we're making it a bit more specific. But the rules and what you're going to talk about, and then I'm going to give a quick chat on the real estate effect, is specific to everywhere in Alberta. So do you want to lead us off, as you usually do, moving to Calgary, what it entails?
For sure. There are a lot of people moving to Calgary and Alberta from all over Canada. Especially since the past 2-3 years now. And a lot of people ask, all right, what does it take to get a mortgage over there? More or less, the rules are kind of the same all over Canada, but number one thing you have to look at, if you're moving to Calgary or Alberta as a primary residence, meaning you're going to live there, then you have to have a job or at least a transfer letter that'll be employed in the locality where you're looking to live. Now, remote, if you're working remotely, that's fabulous. All you need to do is have a letter of employment stating that you are working remotely, because I've worked with many clients that do work in Ontario, that work in BC, and they will continue to work through those companies which are located in their respective provinces, but they've been given the freedom to work and live anywhere in Canada. So they move over here in Alberta. Just as long as you have that remote letter, it's okay. If not, you have to have at least a transferable job. I've seen people working from Starbucks in Ontario now being transferred over here to a Starbucks in a local Calgary branch. That's perfectly fine. Truckers, there are a lot of truckers which are moving around as well. Sometimes your trucking company gives you that leeway to, transfer over into a different province where they have a sister company or, another branch of their own. Or, you have to start applying for a job in a similar industry, preferred similar industry that you're already working in. If not, at least have any other job available to be starting here in Calgary or Alberta for your new home purchase. Now, that's only if you're going to buy a home for a principal residence. If you're buying an investment property, then it's totally fine. You can continue living where you are. You can continue living and working where you are, and your normal letter of employment and pay stub or T1s will do. But those are the basic ground rules for buying a principal residence here in Alberta. Down payment, same thing, minimum 5% if your property is less than 500,000. If the property is greater than 500,000 but less than $1 million, then it's 5% on the first 500,000 and 10% on the difference between 500,000 and $1 million. And if it's $1 million plus, then it's 20% overall. And if it's an investment property, then it's a 20% down payment regardless of the purchase price. And in a nutshell, that's just the mortgage side of moving to Calgary. And if you have any questions, we're here to help. Stu, take it away with the real estate end.
Well, I was just going to say, there's, like you said, there's been an influx, mainly from Ontario, I would have said, but other provinces where I think it's like, just thinking of Toronto, Vancouver, where I remember reading an article from Krebs, and the lady there said you couldn't buy a dog kennel for what you can buy a house in Vancouver, say, for what you can buy a house for in Calgary. So I think, and we've only got the one tax, of course, which makes it interesting. So I think people in those areas are just looking at Calgary and saying, wow, it's, I can buy a nicer home for far less money because then, you don't become a slave to your mortgage payment, maybe, you know what I mean? So, and then I know that basically, I was just looking at the figures as well. So Canada, before 2025, is expecting per year 500,000 people to come in every year. which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then downtown, where there's a lot of vacancy for office space. So there's a lot of IT people moving here. There was an article in an Ontario IT magazine saying that Calgary was becoming the place for IT, because I suppose it doesn't matter where you are. But anyway, but basically there's a lot of office space, so I think that's helping us at the moment as well. Downtown, 200 million initial investment in downtown from the city. That diversity, the airport as well, which is now huge. 4 billion has been spent on YYC airport since 1992, and they're still spending money on it. So they see it as, big traffic and a lot of traffic, so that's good. So Calgary's had a 3% increase since 2022 in population. I think we're at 1,360,000, something thereabouts. So, but the price of houses, as we say, is pretty good. It depends what class of house you're in, and we have got limited inventory at the moment. So townhouses, condos are selling. Some people in Calgary are downsizing, so that's why you're not seeing many townhouses come on, or if they come on, they're gone pretty quick, But now, as I say, we're getting more and more inventory coming on, so there's a bit more of a choice. And I think if anyone's thinking of moving to Calgary, you've just got to I've got a couple of clients who are just keeping an eye on the market till they see the right house, and then they're ready to move, So I think it's looking good. I've heard a few people say that they think that Calgary's about to boom again.
Yeah.
Because we've suffered a few times, and we've got this big surplus as well with the price of the oil and gas and everything. So we're looking okay. We just need the feds to help us a bit more to get the product to market. I think if we could do that, then we would be flying, So it's probably a good time to move. So that we'll give them a brief from your point of view, what they need, and hopefully an overview of the real estate. Of course, there's tons of communities that people can look at, and I can always advise them on that. And if they contact you, you can walk them through it, So this video is just really an introduction of what the basics are, yeah. So we'll leave it there then, and we'll pick up another subject and talk the same time next week, Assad. Thank you.
You too. Take care, sir. All right.